Hey beauties, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be sharing my thoughts on some new fragrances. Most of these are new launches for 2023. Some of them are just new to my collection, and I do have a handful of first impressions. But I want to begin with what I imagine will be the most highly anticipated fragrance review of this particular video, which is the brand new Parfums De Marly Valaya. I've had this fragrance for a few weeks now. It's taken me a while to finally talk about it, and originally I had planned to do an unboxing and share first impressions as a quick little YouTube short, but when I filmed that video, it didn't quite go the way I had envisioned, so I kind of scrapped it. I might just include some video clips just so you can see. This bottle was very generously gifted by Parfums De Marly, and they included a little pamphlet of information and everything you need to know about the fragrance. So let's talk about the notes. Valaya has keynotes of bergamot, mandarin, and white peach, orange blossom, nympheal, vetiver, akagala wood, ambrofix, and vanilla. Right away, the white peach, orange blossom, and vanilla stand out because those are notes that I generally really love in fragrance. And when I first read the notes online, when I was looking up the fragrance, I was interested. It sounded very enticing, not enough to drive me to blind buy a $330 fragrance. I believe it does retail for $330. So I was planning to just wait until it ended up at my local Saks or department store and just smell it there. So I'm very grateful that the brand sent this over to me. The bottle is beautiful. It looks very transparent. You have the white tassel, stunning packaging as always from Parfums De Marly, and I do think the bottle always represents the fragrance very well with this particular brand. At first glance, it looks very bridal, effervescent, delicate, and when you read the description, it says a radiant aura with impalpable softness, an evocation of the skin caressed by a veil of cotton. So we have softness, a light veil of cotton. They kind of tell you in the description this is going to be a very light, airy, soft fragrance, and it definitely is. The main note that's not listed on this little card, it's probably somewhere in the larger pamphlet, is musk. When I smell this fragrance and I'm about to spray it, I get a lot of musk, and that's definitely what is left lingering on my skin. So if you're not a huge fan of musk, I'm not sure you're really going to love this fragrance. When I initially unboxed Valaya, I was shooting content with my friend Amelia. I've talked about her before. She often helps me set up the camera and create content surrounding fragrances in particular. And I unboxed it, I sprayed it a few times, and it just was not quite what I expected, and it threw me so much, I was at a loss for words. So most of the video is me saying, I'm not sure. I don't really know. This isn't what I expected. I was so thrown. I think when it comes to Parfums De Marly fragrances, because they have some incredible, best-selling, like all-time favorite niche fragrances for women, the expectation is so high. I mean, when Parfums De Marly announces a new fragrance for women, everybody's excited. There's a lot of buzz surrounding it. So you just expect fireworks, and that's not what I got out of this bottle. I get so much musk. Right away, I smell a lot of musk. It's not really floral. It's not really fruity. It's fresh. It's clean. It definitely smells a little bit like clean linens or the veil of cotton. A bit more conservative, reserved. It's not really sweet. It's not really sexy. A hint of fresh laundry detergent, but in the best way possible. I would put this in the same category as a Maison Francis Kurkdjian 724. Yes, 724. I had to make sure I didn't mix up the numbers. It's very pleasant. It's a pretty fragrance. It is not bad at all. It's very nice. But it is a bit of a shame. If I'm being honest, it's a shame because I was really looking forward to the white peach and the vanilla dry down. I don't get any vanilla. I don't get any peach. Maybe a little woodiness. It is nearly impossible to review this fragrance without deferring to some of my other favorite Parfums De Marly fragrances like Delina, Delina Exclusive, Delina Le Rosé, Cassily, Oriana, which has almost surpassed Delina in my opinion. I find myself grabbing that fragrance and really gravitating to that fragrance a little bit more. There are so many incredible fragrances, but even besides the bestsellers, because I took all of my fragrances down, and I think the next video I do, maybe not next right after this, but sometime very soon, I'm planning to do a Parfums De Marly ranking video where I rank all of the fragrances. So I've recently smelled all of them, trying to decide where this fits in, And I don't think it's even right below the top sellers that everybody loves. It's kind of mid-table, maybe even a little bit lower than mid-table because there are so many amazing fragrances from the house. I mean, it's a very strong brand. When I smell everything else, Valaya kind of sticks out like a sore thumb. On the one hand, it's nice because it adds something very different to your collection. It's very different than everything else they have. It does a great job expanding the range. If somebody didn't like the other fragrances, they might really like this one. But for me and my personal preferences, I say it's nice, it's lovely. I don't see myself really grabbing this. I don't really see myself gravitating towards it, even on a daily basis for casual wear. And I do think the bottle looks very bridal, and the notes even could be bridal, but I would say this is maybe mother of the bride, not really a bridal fragrance. It doesn't excite me. I think it's good. It's not great. If I purchased this myself, I think I would be really disappointed. It's not something that I personally would purchase. I would go for Oriana. If you're going to splurge on a Parfum De Marly fragrance, go for something that moves you. It has to be like, wow, fireworks. I'm so excited to wear that fragrance. It doesn't excite me. Doesn't really move the needle, unfortunately. If I were smelling this blind, I didn't know the brand, I didn't see the bottle, and I did not know the price, which I automatically, in my head, I categorize this as a fancy, expensive, luxury, special occasion fragrance. But if I were to just smell this blind on a blotter card, I would say this smells to me a little bit more like a pillow mist, a room spray, clean out of the shower, running errands, perhaps a gym fragrance because it is a little bit softer. It's certainly soft and non-offensive. I think you could wear it to a PTA meeting with the teacher. I would say it's office appropriate. It's not going to be an inappropriate fragrance because it's just not bold enough and it's not like sweet and flirty. So nobody's going to give you a bad look if you wear this fragrance. But even if you are in the market for an incredibly casual fragrance, I would probably suggest 10 other fragrances over this one, and they would probably be on the less expensive side. I know for me personally, if I'm spending this type of money, which I have no problem investing in an incredible niche luxury fragrance, I have to feel some type of way about it. You know, it really has to be like, wow, this is going to be the fragrance that I'm so excited to wear and tell everybody about, and I'm going to wear this every single day for the next few weeks. I wore this during the first impression. I obviously spritzed it on and wore it for the day. I have not worn this since, and I haven't even been curious to try it again just to see if my thoughts changed at all. And even just now, spritzing the blotter card, I just know in my soul with 100% certainty this is not going to be a fragrance that I grab for regularly. I don't mean for that to sound really harsh. Again, it's a nice fragrance, it's not bad at all, and I'm sure there are plenty of people who are going to purchase this and love it and feel like they truly got their money's worth. You know, they don't mind the price tag because this really speaks to them. For me personally, I have such a huge collection of fragrances that I really love that I'm excited to wear, that I get compliments whenever I wear them out, and they just excite me. You know, I spritz my fragrance for the day and I get excited. It gives me that boost of confidence. I love wearing my favorite fragrances out and about, even just for myself. So because I have so many options, maybe that's why I can't really think of an occasion where I would pick this over fragrances that I feel really excited about. You have to catch it quick, but right away, when you first spritz the fragrance, and it dissipates quickly, so you have to catch it fast, I do get a tiny little zippiness from the citrus notes. The mandarin, the bergamot. I never really get any white peach. I'm starting to think I have no idea what white peach even smells like because to me it is definitely missing here. There's a little sweetness from that citrus, but unfortunately it just does not linger very long. And then it becomes woody, musky. It's very smooth and elegant, but I think it loses a little bit of femininity to me because I just don't really get floral notes. I don't really get the sweetness or the balance from the fruit. Not a safe blind buy, in my opinion. I haven't heard, besides other fragrance reviewers, and I've only heard maybe a handful of people talking about it because I like to not listen. I don't want to sway myself. But I haven't really heard that much feedback or that many comments from you. So let me know if you've tried this fragrance. What do you think? Am I being too harsh? Did you really love it? Do you kind of feel the same way? It's nice, but maybe not an instant love for you. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Switching gears now to another new fragrance launch for 2023. This is from the brand Replica, Maison Margiela. It's On a Date. This was also sent to me complimentary, and it was one of the cutest PR packages I think I've ever received. They sent the fragrance as well as the candle, and without even smelling the fragrance, I just kind of peeked inside the box. I knew I needed to create some content, so you might have seen I already posted a little video on this fragrance. This was a love at first sniff. Thankfully, it smells incredible. The fragrance description is grapes and roses, and it was inspired by sunset over the vineyards in Provence. So very romantic. They set the scene for you, and these fragrances are meant to evoke memories. So grapes and roses are what's meant to come to mind. And I think they did an incredible job. I've never smelled a fragrance and thought, grape. But this smells a little bit like grape. It smells a little bit like wine, but as a fragrance. So not literally wine, but if wine and a date night, if a date was to become embodied by perfume, that would be On a Date. They did such an amazing job, and I know I've said it before that I like a lot of the Replica fragrances, but there hasn't been one that really spoke to me, moved me, and I think this is it. This is the one. And as it dries down, it gets better and better. It almost becomes a little bit more rich, a little bit more luscious, which I love. It reminds me of a red lipstick. For whatever reason, that's what comes to mind. Maybe it's that it just smells like a bold red rose. But I just think of red lipstick. I would say this is one of my favorite new launches of the year so far. And I also really like the candle. It works as a fragrance and a candle, with which sometimes I smell a fragrance and I think to myself, that actually should only be a candle and not a fragrance. Like that smells like somebody's house, or that smells like a bathroom or a living room. It does not smell the way I want to smell on my body. Maybe in a smaller room it would fill the space a little bit better, but I do really love the candle and I really like the fragrance. I think this is one of those cases that it works perfectly for both. Speaking of candles, for all of my fancy candle lovers, and you know I am a candle addict, self-professed, I have cut myself off from purchasing new candles, although I have been doing a really good job lately of actually using my favorite candles. I recently finished a diptyque candle. I finished one of my Ovarose croissant candles that I love so much. So I've been lighting my candles, enjoying them, but this was sent to me complimentary from Twisted Lily, and I think it is one of the most beautiful candles. I haven't quite decided whether or not I'm ever going to light this because in my mind, I think something this special is more of a home decor piece. It's from the brand Maison Le Bougie. It's part of their astrology collection. So this is the Cancer candle. I am a July baby, for anybody wondering. So I am a Cancer. Open up the top and it's just, the details are impeccable. I'm going to be very careful. So there is the top. Oh my gosh, the smell is so nice. Oh, I love that smell. Oh my goodness. Ooh, it's a little bit like sandalwood, vanilla, spiced with something. It smells so nice. See, now this is the type of fragrance that I wouldn't mind as a fragrance as well. So it says, Cancer, peaceful, infinite imagination, sensitive and attentive to others, faithful, resistant, protective, generous, tender, dreamer, greedy, has a rich inner life, uses his intuition, her intuition, to move forward, devoted to her family. Maison Le Bougie, Paris, and then it has this really beautiful astrology motif. You have the crab on the back. I love the color of this candle. I believe they're all a little bit different besides the sign. I think they might come in different colors. I'm not sure if they come in different fragrances, but I love this beautiful kind of neutral peach with the gold. So pretty. Let me take the lid out. And I think this would also make a really great gift if you know somebody who loves astrology, or perhaps they have a birthday, sort of special event coming up where you would need a gift. I think this would make an amazing gift for somebody. You have all of the astrological signs on the lid. So it just kind of sits on top there. This is beautiful. I mean, of course, if you did decide to light it, you could always keep this and display it anyway. But for now, it's too beautiful to light. I do have a couple fragrances here to unbox. So this will, of course, be a first impression. As you can see, it's still in its packaging. This is a new launch from Roma Parfums. It's Taif Oud, which I'm told is a very rosy, very feminine oud fragrance. I have a feeling this might be a little bit more fall-winter, but who knows? We will see. I looked up the notes and it sounds beautiful. And of course, Roma fragrances always come in the most beautiful, very glamorous packaging. It's categorized as a floral aldehyde fragrance. Keynotes include aldehydes, bergamot, rose, cassis, jasmine, cloves, geranium, ylang ylang, oud, benzoin, musk, olibanum, labdanum, vanilla, and patchouli. I love when the bottles have the rhinestone cap. It looks so opulent and over the top, and then this gold label is just so luxurious. I mean, this is something truly special, and I imagine the fragrance will live up to it. Let's hope. Some of my all-time favorite fragrances come from this brand. Elixir, 51, Reckless is another really nice one. So let's see, I'm excited. Oh, interesting. Definitely aldehydes. It's the first thing I smell. I definitely smell the rose, the oud, but it's a little bit light and airy from the aldehyde, so it's not like a really heavy fragrance. It's actually not too fall-winter, the way I thought it might be. It's so unique. This is a very interesting fragrance. I definitely like it. I think I would have to, this is one that I really want to try on my skin to see what it smells like. If you're not familiar, Chanel No. 5 is probably the most popular fragrance with aldehydes. I believe it's credited for being the first fragrance to use aldehydes. I've heard different opinions on that, so I'm not 100% sure if it was the first, but it's definitely the most well-known. Tom Ford Metalique is another fragrance that contains aldehydes that's pretty popular. It's hard to describe the actual scent, but you know it when you smell it. I think because so many people associate aldehydes with Chanel No. 5, it does give a fragrance kind of like that older, more mature, classic type of scent. I love the rose and the oud. I would say rose, oud, and aldehydes is really what I get from this fragrance. I don't know if I think it has mass appeal. I really like it. And I'm excited to wear it on my skin. Right now, I would still say Elixir and 51 are my favorite fragrances from Roma, but this is really glamorous. Kind of reminds me of an old Hollywood type of fragrance. I can picture myself grabbing this to wear on a date night. To me, when I smell this, I feel like I would have to be dressed up. I'm excited. I believe we do have plans this weekend, so if we do end up going out, I will wear this fragrance and I will report back. So I'm going to go ahead and unbox this Valentino fragrance. This was also sent over complimentary. It's very nice that they included one of their beautiful gift boxes. And inside is the new interpretation of Born in Roma. So this is Valentino Donna Born in Roma Intense Eau de Parfum. I'm not sure if this one is new as well. I think it must be. So this is the Valentino Uomo Born in Roma Intense. So this is the male fragrance. I'm really excited about this because I actually do not have the original Valentino Born in Roma in my collection. I've certainly smelled it. It's a very popular fragrance, and I believe it kind of had a viral moment last year where everybody was talking about it. So this new interpretation definitely makes sense. I think it's a great business decision. I'm not sure how different it will be. I like that they included the all black rock studs at the top, and this bottle looks amazing. Of course, it has all rock studs. It looks like a very deep juice. It's very pretty. I don't think, I second guessed myself for a moment, but no, I have Valentino Voce Viva. That is a beautiful fragrance. I do not have Born in Roma. Okay. Ooh, very powerful mister. Let's see. Oh my goodness, I like it. Ooh, this is good. Wow. Okay, not what I expected, and it definitely smells different. This smells like coconut. Okay, hold on. I pulled up the notes on the Sephora website. It's listed as a warm floral. It says keynotes are vanilla, jasmine, and benzoin. It's very vanilla forward. In fact, I smell way more vanilla than I do jasmine, and I think in this case, it works in the fragrance's favor because there are a group of designer fragrances that have a lot of jasmine and they all smell kind of similar. You probably know the ones that I'm talking about, but this smells different. It actually reminds me a little bit of Alien Goddess. I definitely get vanilla, but to me, and maybe it's the combination of everything together, but it smells very coconut, but not in an overly artificial, sweet, like cloying coconut type of way. It's intense, but it's not too intense. I think it's really pretty. This is definitely a date night Miami fragrance. I will be wearing this over the summer. I don't review men's fragrances very often. I love men's fragrances, but I like to keep my channel for the ladies mostly. But let's go ahead and smell this one as well. This is supposed to be cool and spicy. Oh, it's pretty. Definitely cool and spicy, but there's a fruitiness in there and a sweetness that is really nice. Wow. Again, I don't have the original, so I have nothing really to compare to, but I think it's really nice. I will definitely get my husband's opinion on this, but I really like it. He is currently wearing Baccarat Rouge 540, the Extrait, which I love on him. It smells amazing. I love the original Baccarat, but I think that the Eau de Parfum leans a little bit more feminine. The Extrait is just a little bit too woody for my personal taste. On him, it's incredible. I think I accidentally created a fragrance monster, and now he's going to be really snobby when it comes to his fragrances. But I think this is something that he would absolutely love as well. It's really nice. I think I might have saved the very best for last, so if you are still watching, you are in luck. This was a purchase that I made inspired by all of you and your incredible taste in fragrances. I am so lucky to have you because you give me the best recommendations. So this is not a new launch. I'm going to probably include it on my best and worst launches of 2023 video because I just discovered it, but it did launch in 2022. And that's when all of you said, you have got to try YSL Babycat. And Babycat is the name of a very classic YSL print that they use. So that's where the name comes from, and a lot of their elevated fragrances are named after the fashion line, like velour, rouge velour, jumpsuits. Unfortunately, Babycat is not available in the US, so I actually purchased this from eBay, and I spent way too much money on it. I mean, these fragrances are a little bit more expensive than the typical YSL fragrances, but I want to say this was $400. Had I not received so many overwhelming reviews and recommendations, I would have skipped it. I would have cut my losses and probably would have never smelled this fragrance, but the eBay seller had great reviews and the fragrance has incredible reviews, so I went for it. It's an amber spicy fragrance with keynotes of black and pink pepper, olibanum, saffron, bourbon vanilla, suede, and cedar. I would say this is a unisex fragrance as well. Definitely leans a little bit feminine, but maybe it's the suede. But it is all that. I did unbox it. I filmed a first impressions, which I didn't even bother to edit. But it's so beautiful. This to me smells like the most beautiful combination of vanilla, caramel, maybe a hint of pepperiness, and suede. So it just smells luxurious, it smells expensive. I understand the hype now, why so many people are talking about this fragrance as if it is the best thing ever. It might have been built up a little bit too much because when I first smelled it, I thought, oh, thank goodness I spent so much money on this fragrance. I love it. I will wear it. But I don't know if it's like the best fragrance that I've ever purchased. You know, this isn't immediately the #1 best fragrance in my collection. Just in case anybody needs to be talked off the ledge for splurging on this fragrance like I did, it's really beautiful. But I would put this in the same category as Spiritus Double Vanille from Guerlain. They're very different, but it's one of those like wow vanilla fragrances. That one does not have the suede, and I think that's why this fragrance is so unique. Kind of reminds me of something that Tom Ford would create, although Tom Ford needs to step his game up because the 2 cherry fragrances he launched this year are okay, not as amazing as one would expect for the price. But it gives me smoky, leathery vanilla in the same neighborhood as Tobacco Vanille, but not quite the same. I think the leather and the black pepper is a lot nicer in this, and it allows the fragrance to still be very feminine and very sexy. It's maybe a little bit similar to Black Tie from Celine. Again, it has that beautiful, delicious, very smooth and creamy, a little bit sweet but not too sweet vanilla, but then Babycat has the suede, whereas Black Tie has the woody notes. Similar but not the same. It really is in a league of its own. I mean, there's nothing else that smells like it, and I think that's exactly what you expect and what you want from an elevated luxury fragrance. It has to be special. Luckily it is. I mean, it's very beautiful. And it's not too heavy, it's not too spicy, it's not too much of any one thing. It's beautifully balanced so that it's just very wearable. I would say I will likely wear this for a date night, getting dressed up, maybe on the weekends, you know, for a night out. But I don't think it would be inappropriate to wear this daytime either. Like, I could wear this to a lunch during the day, especially if you live somewhere that does have seasons, then you will get a lot of use out of this. I have heard rumors that perhaps this hasn't launched in the US yet. I don't know. If you have any clarifications, let us know. Is Babycat ever coming to the US, or is it just kind of an exclusive fragrance? It might have been exclusive to Europe. I purchased mine from the Middle East, or I believe it shipped from Dubai. It is so beautiful. Definitely my type of vanilla. Huge thank you to everybody out there, and there were several people who recommended this. You were right. Hands down one of the best fragrance launches of 2022. And that completes today's video. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it and you liked hearing my thoughts on these fragrances. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Leave me your comments, questions down below. Any of your recommendations, I look forward to reading them. So drop me a comment. We'll keep the conversation going there. As always, I will be linking everything mentioned. Everything on my face will be listed down below in the description box for your convenience. And for more videos like this, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell.